Now that the holiday season is officially here, I understand more and more families are going to be getting together. So I hope you use this time to really have an important discussion regarding estate planning. Now, you may be thinking, like, why estate planning? I'm in my 20s, my 30s, even my 40s. That's not something that is a priority for me. I'm not wealthy, so why do I even need to be thinking about it? I'm here to demystify that belief that estate planning is only for seniors or for the uber wealthy. And perhaps Hollywood is to blame, as we see portrayed in the Downton Abbey series, where we see an aristocratic family talking about inheritance and wealth. However, why it should be a priority for everyone is because of the astronomical cost of long term care, medical costs in the United States, as well as medical care. It is exorbitant and it's cost prohibitive for 99% of us, and that's why we need a plan in place. That's reason number one. Number two is because we're experiencing right now what's called a silver tsunami, which is the largest transfer of wealth from baby boomers and preceding generations down to millennials and Gen X and Gen Z. Wealth is supposed to be trickled down, but the wealth is being leaked, as I call it, or eaten up because of the cost of medical care. So this is resulting in baby boomers having to sell their home in order to provide or pay for their long-term medical costs. So family wealth is being eaten up in order to pay for long-term care medical costs. This is not only barbaric, but it's also ironic because we all know these nursing home facilities, these assisted living facilities do not prioritize care. So the fact that people have to make the ultimate sacrifice of their security and stability to pay for the care they never receive is so, it gives you such cognitive dissonance. So, what are the solutions? The solutions are to have a plan in place. How do you even begin thinking about the plan? I know there's so much information out there. So, what I've done is I've written a book. It's titled Chaos to Clarity: Estate Planning for People Who Think They Don't Need It. And it walks you through how to have a plan in place if you need long term care medical costs. That doesn't result in you having to sell your family home, destabilize not only yourself, but succeeding generations. There are solutions out there. This book also walks you through if you are caring for an adult child that has a disability that's currently receiving state funded medical insurance, how to make sure that you leave resources and money available to him and her while maintaining his or her medical state funded medical insurance that doesn't disqualify them. There's certain things that you can do to guarantee that, and that is outlined in this book. Also, how to deal with Medicaid long-term care when in terms of counting your spouse's assets. What are the alternatives that you can do to make sure your spouse is not left impoverished because of you going into a long-term care facility? When to use irrevocable trust, how to make sure that you have a properly worded irrevocable trust to make sure your assets are protected. Everything is really placed in this book. I poured all the years of my estate planning experience, all the questions that people have, the blind spots into this book to make it easy to read. You can jump at any chapter. Will is not enough in this day and age where property is more complicated and there needs to be healthcare directed. What are the important estate planning documents to make sure that you're protected as well as your family is protected? And I understand that this is a difficult conversation to have, especially if you're speaking to the older generation who were raised to be very private and discreet about money. But if they're watching this, not having a plan is more disastrous. Not doing anything is more disastrous than having even the weakest plan. So I want you to even think about having a plan. Perhaps your children are not the responsible ones that you want to be making this decision. You could select other people that have shown themselves to be responsible, ethical, and moral. I also understand that I've written this book to bridge this topic with delicacy and humanity that doesn't make the older generation feel useless or undermines their autonomy, because I understand that's a big thing too. There's always a fear that it undermines their autonomy and their accountability. So there's a way to bridge this conversation with respect to everything that they have worked for, maintaining their dignity. There's a way to approach it. And I understand I'm not immune to having these difficult conversations. I've had it with my own family members. Even when my father was doing his estate plan, I remember us meeting with the lawyer and him asking the lawyer, I just want to make sure they can't sell the house, just stuff me in a nursing home and just run off with the money. So there's provisions in place. And also, I understand that there's paranoia there with the older generation. Perhaps they don't. I understand there's also a lack of trust. So perhaps this book is an invitation to bring up this difficult